Trick-or-treating's the most disturbing crimes.
Welcome back to the Papa Meat channel. How you doing? How you doing? Come on and sit on down because today we're talking about trick-or-treating. Halloween used to be a fun time when you were younger. You used to walk around with your friends, you used to get dressed up, go to school, everybody was dressed up in creepy costumes, and people would compliment your costume, you'd feel like a big man. Walk around with your friends afterwards, go get candies and reminisce.
Dude, I always thought trick-or-treating was fun, but I stopped trick-or-treating when I was young, and Halloween costumes were never really creative when I went trick-or-treating because I was around during the morph suits. Do y'all remember the morph suits where it was literally just a full black costume or full green or full gray? Like, I was around when this was like the when just going as like green, black, blue, gray, and everybody would just pick a color and then show up as that suit.
All the spooky things that happen during this time of year. But it seems kind of dead, doesn't it? I feel like the last couple of years, there's just no trick-or-treaters at all. It feels like a dead meme. Trick-or-treating is a thing of the past. And sure, you have trunk-or-treating, but goddamn, that doesn't count for anything.
Yeah, trunk-or-treating's like the big thing now, but I just think that's cringe, dude. Because now, like, it has to be, like, a planned event by the city to just give out candy rather than it being, like, a tradition.
If I'm gonna go walk around a parking lot for a bit on people's trunks, that. So today I wanted to talk about what the hell happened to trick-or-treating, right? What was some of the causes of trick?
Yeah, what happened to walking up to a house that looked that looked like they weren't doing trick-or-treat? And all of their lights were off, and you knocked on their door and went, trick or treat. And then an old man would stumble out with a bowl of grandpa candy and just be like, oh, look at you, Mario and Luigi. Here you go. Get out of here. Shut the door.
Trick-or-treating's demise. And no, I'm not going to talk about kids having cell phones and else probably. Well, we might touch on that a little bit, but some people say it was the economy collapse in 2008. Really? People are gonna stop eating Tootsie Rolls and dressing up as a goddamn...
It was not the economy collapse in 2008. I went trick-or-treating till I was like 10, and that shit was still packed.
Werewolf because their mom and dad can't pay for a house? Doubtful. Doubtful. I think it's because the parents are too afraid to send their kids out into this crazy, crazy world. And hell, I think even kids are too afraid to go out into this crazy, crazy world. There's a lot of stories, a lot of crazy things seem to happen during this time of year. And a lot of dangerous things seem to happen as well. Let's go down the dark rabbit hole of the dangers of trick-or-treating. Today's video is sponsored by...
I mean, but what kids are going trick-or-treating alone? Like, most people are going trick-or-treating in a big group or with your parents. So I don't think it's... Yeah, somebody said parents just be lazy. Literally. The parents just don't want to do it. I don't think it's a lack of, like, kids wanting to not go trick-or-treating. I think it's the parents. I will say I think people go trick-or-treating less and less in terms of how long you go, right? Like, when did you guys stop trick-or-treating? If you stopped trick-or-treating. Like, I stopped when I was 10. I feel like my parents stopped trick-or-treating when they were, like, 16. I feel like you stop going at a younger age. Like, most people stop in, like, middle of middle school. Like, is when you kind of stop going.
It starts off a lot with, you know, people getting candy, right? Knock on a door, trick or treat, and then usually you're giving candy. But sometimes there has been reports of people getting dangerous things inside of candy or...
I always think that's fake. When people go, there's a razor blade in my Snickers bar. How does your dumbass eat that? I don't, like, even if you're like 5 years old, it's obviously tampered with. If you, I genuinely think that's like a myth. How do you get a razor blade in your fucking candy? And on top of that, like, it might cut your mouth if you bite into it. You're not going to swallow a fucking razor blade. You know how big a fucking razor blade is? Like, they're not massive, but they're like, it's a fucking semi-thin, sharp metal sheet.
It's hard to track down. Because of this, people are convinced that most of these stories are just fear-mongering, right? There's a lot of stories out there, but not a lot of proof. And
I think there's like one-off scenarios where some crazy shit happens. Most of the time where they're like, oh, it's a common occurrence for somebody to put a razor blade or poison in your Skittles. Like, no. That's just, the odds that happens are extremely unlikely.
And a lot of people use this as ways to basically diminish, maybe even slander the name of Halloween. But these instances can be real. Much like
The worst shit I ever got on Halloween was fucking pencils, man. There was a time I got an apple, or I would get popcorn or fucking hot chocolate. The worst thing I ever got was fucking pencils, dude. That or grandma candy.
In 2019, Jason Rax from Waterbury, Connecticut was arrested on Halloween night for tampering with children's Halloween candy. All right, that's a
He put razor blades in the kids' candy.
bad charge to have already. You're already on the list if you're tampering with Halloween candy like that. Several Waterbury...
And the second they got it, they probably knew, right? He goes, they go trick or treat, and then this guy goes, trick or treat, have a nice Halloween. And it's like just an obviously smushed open Twix bar with a fucking fat razor blade just wedged in the middle of it because this guy's a fucking dumbass. And they went, okay, well, this is you trying to kill me.
Children's Halloween baskets. It was noted that the razor blades were loose and not found inside the candy themselves.
So he just dropped razor blades in your bag. So he gave you a Sour Patch Kids mini size and a razor blade and just went trick or treat and put it in your bag.
Throwing in a handful of razors, Gillette razors, just flopping around some Tootsie Rolls due to Milk Dud boxes. The man believed to be responsible for this incident was 37-year-old Jason Rax, who was taken into custody almost immediately. Rax told the police that they accidentally spilled the candy bowls that he used to hand out the treats in. The same.
I mean, who owns razor blades, though? Like, I've seen them. I've never gone, I don't even know, where do you go, Home Depot? I've never gone to a store and bought razor blades, and then you just have a massive amount of them that spill into your candy bowl.
Razor blades in was the bowl we so happen to have our Skittles in, man. Don't you believe me? And I hate to say this too, but I will say this looks like a man who would hand out razor blades too.
Yeah.
I think they gotta get you purposely looking fucking terrible in these shots, right?
I think I've read that they purposely wait
Just a long time, so you're just tired as shit. Yeah. When questioned, Rax cannot explain how the blades got to the children's baskets without being noticed. In what world could he like accidentally not stab the shit out of his hand by being like, oh my god, wait, there are razor blades in here. There's no way he can fumble around. Here you go, kids. Wait, what is that shiny metallic object that I just put into that kid's basket? I don't know.
I'm gonna give him.
And then what did he think would happen? That they would, like, kill their friend or something? Like, worst thing that happens if somebody puts a razor blade in your bag of candy is you reach your hand in there and it cuts you.
Went to Lowe's, got his candy there and razor blades, and then he just dumped the basket.
Why Lowe's for razor blades? Why Lowe's is your example? If anything, I thought you'd say he went to Walmart, he picked up all his fun-sized family bag of candies. He's like, I'm gonna give out candies this year. Usually I don't. I'm going to this year. I gotta clean up, I gotta shave. Picked up a bunch of razor blades. You know, whenever you get home, you have your bags of groceries on your counters, and then you're handling your, you know, it's all your goodies.
Oh, and he did one of those things where the bag wouldn't open right and went, and it just fucking scattered razor blades everywhere, and 15 of them landed in his fucking candy bowl.
But ooh, I gotta, you know, you're snacking all the stuff you want to snack on, and then coincidentally, not with the slide of a hand, oops, in the bowl with the candy. That's probably what happened. He was ultimately charged with the risk of injury to a minor, reckless endangerment, and interfering with a police officer. His bond was set to $250,000. Luckily, no children were injured through the whole ordeal. Thank God. Which, you know, there are many reported instances of sharp metal objects being sneakily hidden inside candy wrappers and handed out to kids, which is a sentence that I never thought I would say. And I didn't think that it was that common, but apparently it is. And in one
Is
case,
it really,
an
though?
11-year-old was
Metal object in Reese's peanut butter cup sends 11-year-old to hospital. Bro, what he fucking ate it?
sent to the hospital after eating a foreign metal object hidden inside a Reese's peanut butter cup. If I had a nickel. If I had a dime every time that happened to me, dude. She was rushed to the hospital soon after to have it surgically removed.
I don't understand. How are you eating it whole? Chat, when you eat a fucking Reese's peanut butter cup, you chew it, right? And the second my teeth hit something hard, I'm going, what the fuck? And I'm spitting all of it out. You just go, oh, that's it. Swallow it.
Did you eat the fucking Reese's Putt in one fucking gulp? Goddamn, dude.
That's what I'm saying.
Bite into it.
Didn't even chew it.
Yeah, she's like, she's like,
You swallowed it with a pill. Took it like it was like a morning Claritin.
I hate chewing chocolate. It happened again in 2021.
Oh my God. You see, like you would have, that could like stab the fuck out of your tongue. But, like, you would bite into that and be like, that's a needle.
It was reported that a sewing needle was found crammed inside of a Kit Kat bar, and another in a pack of Sour Patch Kids.
Were they skewered on?
They skewered it in, and the picture of that is that is crazy. People were so worried that a local community hospital offered to provide x-rays of any candy distributed to trick-or-treaters using a
X-rays. I'm throwing out the candy. If I have a bag of candy and one of them has a razor blade in it, I'm just chucking the candy. Okay? I don't need to go to my local doctor's office or hospital and be like, hey, can you scan my candy for me?
portable x-ray machine. Ohio police called it truly disturbing. Yeah! Look at that Kit Kat! My God, what kind of psychopath? Yeah. Listen, dude, I get not liking kids, right? Kids are fucking annoying. To put a needle inside a Kit Kat? Eat it. To be that mentally fucking disturbed, then to also be like, have fun out there tonight. And as they're walking away, they turn around, they're just like, you know what I mean? Fucking psychopaths. Offering free x-rays for the bad stuff in candies has been pretty notable and was even pretty big in the 80s.
In the past, 50 to 100 children have visited the hospital for free service, and hospitals say they are pleased to offer safety checkups.
And even last year,
dude, in the fucking 80s, people did that?
2023, Wisconsin parents discovered that their child's Halloween candy.
A nail found in child's Tootsie Roll. Chat, if you have a Tootsie Roll that looks like that, though, are you even eating it? That crumpled and fucking mangled.
And included a Tootsie Roll with a nail in it. Isn't that fun?
Yeah, I could see it like breaking your tooth because you bite down on metal.
The parents posted an image to Facebook to alert other parents, showing that she already been injured upon finding it. Dude, we can't show the whole bloody ass thumb. There's the nail. With all these stories about sharp objects being put inside candy, the culprit seems to never be found. It might lead you to be skeptical, but it's still terrifying.
Well, yeah, because if you don't immediately find them, it's hard to know because you went to fucking 50 homes. How many homes would you guys go to trick-or-treating? 50 houses? 100 houses? Not 100. 50 homes.
I was going to say, what, you're going to set up a shot of like, I mean, also my fucking nails are, I don't even know if we're going to release the pumpkin spice thing. There's been a couple videos, all right? They're gel. I can't peel them off. They're fucking gel. It hurt. It burned. I had to put my hand inside this purple illuminated box, and it was scolding. I was like, ow. And she was just like, just wait a second. It'll go away. And I was like, I put it back in, and yeah, these motherfuckers are not coming off. And I felt really stupid because I was like, so tonight, how do I get these off? She said, tonight? I said, yeah, kind of.
Tonight? Those are now medically implanted into your body. Those are going to be on you for the rest of your life.
Can I peel these off tonight? And she's like, oh, these are supposed to be on for 3 weeks. And I said, So that's the whole thing. I was going to do it. Doesn't matter. But yeah, staging it in front of also all your aesthetic candy and shit too. Come on, man. That shit seems set up. Even the way that the nails poking out. Come on, dude.
How did she stab herself? The nail's pointing down and it stabbed her thumb.
I mean, it's still protruding out of the wrapper. You could still fucking poke your thumb, Nick. How did she do that? The papers there protected the nail. What the hell? But in 2014, an Ohio mother checked her son's candy to find 4 boxes of Milk Duds, each filled with 22 caliber bullets.
That's insane.
Well, it is insane. I'll tell you why.
Yo, that is actually fucking nuts.
Why? Because Milk Duds are my favorite candy. All right,
and that's expensive. What bullets?
With 22 caliber bullets.
22 caliber bullets. How expensive are 22 caliber bullets? 500 is $136. So if he's putting 4 in each, bro, that's more expensive than just regular candy.
Well, it is insane. I'll tell you why. Because Milk Duds are my favorite candy. All right, and everyone gets mad at me when I say that. Does it take 7 years to
Milk Duds are good? Yeah, they just get stuck in your teeth.
chew one Milk Dud? Yeah, dude. But guess what? That's what makes it so
I don't even know what my favorite candy would be.
good. You have to work through it to enjoy no pain, no gain, as they say, right? Also, just want to say, finding 22 caliber bullets inside the Milk Dud box, that's wrong. Okay? Chrissy Campbell's 4-year-old son, Landon, came home, bringing along some candy that was given to him from his preschool. What are you going to give bullets to a kid for? I mean, what the fuck do you expect him to, a 4-year-old to show up to school with a gun like that? What are you talking about? Well, he has to have the 22 caliber gun, dude. If you're going to fuck with kids like that, at least make it to where, I don't know.
Is he going to say at least make it to where they have something they could use? Was he about to say at least make sure they own a gun?
Thing full of tacks. And they're like, ooh. And they eat it. Chocolate, blood all the time. The large bag that contained these items had the children's name written on them. The motherfucker knew who they were.
Yeah.
All right, that's a little. I'm not gonna lie, that's actually legitimately pretty creepy. But how did they not get caught?
Yeah, what the hell?
Nobody at the preschool would comment on the matter, and the Peebles Police Department began an investigation. They also planned to work with the prosecutor's office to determine what charges would apply. There appears to be no update as to whether or not the culprit was found. But how? How many kids are in the class? It's like, just bring all the parents in and be like, hello? Which one? It's like one guy with like, he's like super tall and he's like a giant like trench coat. He's like, which one of you did this? It's the guy with like loading a gun in the back. We gotta protect our...
He has a fucking 12 gauge just in his trench coat. They're not taking me out of here. I'm not leaving this place alive.
Kids. George, your child died drowning 6 months ago. What are you doing here? Just miss her. It would be some shit like that, you know what I mean? If I can't have my baby girl, no one can have their baby girls.
I bet you the mom saw the Milk Dud boxes, shook them. Oh, they're Milk Duds. And the guy was handing.
What the hell are you saying? Chocolate orbs are not going to sound like bullet casings.
Yeah, metal.
That's what a milk dud sounds like. Sounds like a little canister of pennies. What the hell? Like you're sympathetic to the mom who's just like, yep, those are milk duds. Start popping off in her hand.
I'm just saying, I think that.
You seem like the fucking guy that would do it then, dude. Are you kidding me? I was just a big deal. I didn't. Easy mistake for anybody, really. If razor blades and sewing needles weren't bad enough, imagine checking your child's Halloween candy and finding drugs. Oh my God, drugs. No! Like in 2019, when a mother from North Plains found a purple chewable Advil pill in her child's Halloween candy.
Bro, I thought you were going to say like MDMA or some shit. They gave me Advil.
Advil, just let me know. I'll give you a Advil. Is Advil that bad? Can you get hooked on one Advil? I mean, like, if it was like, here's a whole thing of Advil, I'd be like, well, that's irresponsible. But I think it was just one.
Yeah, if the whole sweet tart thing was Advil.
Yeah, exactly. It's like one of those, like, candy necklaces. Like that. Typically, the most common culprit that is found in candy is meth. Hey, who's got a sweet tooth?
Meth.
No, I do. Horror stories like this have consumed parents around the Halloween season, specifically due to a recent story involving fentanyl, the boogeyman.
Oh, I thought it was going to be MDMA.
The boogeyman of
And sweet tarts.
of the drugs lately. In October of 2022, 12,000 suspected fentanyl pills were found in various bags of candy.
That's not a can of Whoppers.
Fentanyl pills were found in various bags of candy, as reported by the DEA agents at LAX, just at the airport. 12,000 pills. What the fuck is oh my God, look at that. Look at this Whoppers case. Okay, Whopper certainly has changed their design. It's also, anybody carrying around a box of sweet tarts, check that mother. Who the fuck eats sweet tarts, or even Whoppers for that matter, dude? Whoppers, something malt. I
liked Whoppers when I was like 8. And then I feel like as you age, Whoppers taste worse and worse.
That's like some 1950s candy, dude. I want popcorn and mold balls. Because they have nothing else. People were just like, why don't you eat anything else? Literally, Coca-Cola and mold balls. Put me in a fentanyl flop over getting a box of fucking sweet tarts and Whoppers, dude. Are you kidding me? Unfortunately, the suspect fled prior to being detained, but has been identified and is currently part of an ongoing investigation. Once again, nobody really arrested besides the first guy at the very beginning with his mishap with razors in a bowl. How have we not caught anybody else? Now I kind of believe him too. It feels like an accident. Everything else that's real, they're getting away left and right. He's like, I have nothing to hide. There was an accident. It was an accident. Even back in 2017, reports of fentanyl blotters were found all around Canada during Halloween time. Blotters are a type of paper used to carry liquid solution of a drug. Typically, you see that with
Oh my God, they were giving people like LSD or just blotters of fentanyl?
the LSD you put in your tongue. Don't take the brown acid. That kind of thing. That's a blotter. Oh, look at that one. That one's cute. It has a little witch on it. How festive and fun. Eat this razor blade.
The kid walks up. He's like, what are you? I'm the Hulk. Ugh. Eat this razor blade.
Although many believe the spread of fentanyl in Halloween candy is widely overblown, it still seems to have most parents terrified.
That one's believable because a lot of these are like, oh, why would someone hand out weed brownies or whatever when fentanyl's so cheap?
What is fentanyl? Is it like a muscle relaxer kind of thing or no?
It's manufactured in China.
Chinese and their opioids, huh? Those motherfuckers love those opioids.
Opioids.
I keep wanting to say opioids. The Chinese love their old boys, huh? One of the most famous stories that started the tampered candy panic.
This laxative-obsessed dentist almost ruined Halloween. Nah, that is really comical, though. Okay, it's fucked up, but is it funny to give a bunch of kids that are eating a shitload of candy just laxatives?
Occurred in 1959 when Dr. William Shine pranked his entire neighborhood on Halloween night. What does a prank in 1959 look like, huh? I'm gonna prank everyone. Everyone. Dr. Shine, could you let us go home now? He just like smiles at him. The mad dentist handed out 450 candy-coated laxatives to the local trick-or-treaters. They're all going to poop.
I mean, wouldn't that be fucking yeah, but it was so old that it was probably a lot of homemade candy. Nowadays, if it was like homemade candy, no parents would accept that. They would just be like, throw that shit in the trash.
Themselves, then they will know my wrath. It was reported that 30 kids fell violently ill. In the end, they recovered, but likely had their holiday ruined. It feels like it's a dentist being like, see, candy's bad for you.
Let me look at your beautiful teeth.
You'd think dentists would want kids to eat candy so they could do surgery on them.
Yeah, they get more business.
And get money.
Yeah, I always imagine that every dentist is like sadistic. Like they love you.
Oh, you have a cavity.
With like a machine, like some made up machine. They're like,
You have to fill it today.
put it on your deal and they're like rotating around, whatever. It looks like a fucking like Tim Burton device or something.
I have to get the cavity. It's very deep.
The townsfolk traced the tampered with candy back to Shine's place. The doctor was charged with several crimes, including outrage of public decency and an unlawful dispensing of drugs, which in 1959, you know, the guy was just like, hey, they pooped. They pooped.
It's not that big of a deal.
It's not a big deal. You shit every day. Look at you. God. People are so soft now. Becky ate a nail yesterday. They're like, those are nails, not pharmaceuticals, doctor. This is just one of the many rare stories that instilled fear in the minds of parents around the Halloween season. And these are the kind of stories, too, I can tell. Definitely, you'd say, well, did you hear about this one? Oh, like holding your daughter back. Oh, or what about her? Go home, run, go home. But in 2023, an 11-year-old...
Yeah, parents covering their fucking kids' ears and shit. I'm never doing that when I have a kid. If I got a curse, I'm not going to be like, this fucking idiot. Kid's just going to be sitting right there. Yeah, that fucking dumbass. And then I turn to the kid. You can't say that until you're however old.
Child was given lace treats by a group of boys on electric scooters.
With ski masks on.
I think we call them hoodlums or thugs. One day in Christchurch, New Zealand, a schoolboy was trick-or-treating with his friends for the very first time in the suburb of Parkland with his mates. Red flag number one. I mean, imagine anybody. My age or what, even if my friend, if you came up to me and you're like, eat this, I'd be like, no. You know what I mean? What, random boy, ski mask on? Imagine so like a masked person, eat this. Okay. I don't give a fuck how young I was. There's no way I would do that. Would you?
I did that to my friend. I gave him cat food, cat treat.
Did he eat it?
Yeah, he took a bite. He's like, what is this?
He couldn't smell that it was a cat.
I remember we bought one of my friends a pup cup at a ice cream place because he was like showing up late because we were all getting ice cream and he was like, get me ice cream. We were like, okay. We got him dog ice cream. He's eating it. He's like, dude, this tastes kind of weird. He's literally biting the dog treats because they're like not really shaped like dog treats, but they're like dog bones. He's like, tastes like bone meal.
Of course, they look like cat food, I would imagine.
They're like little stars and fish shaped.
But it probably looked like cat food, though, right?
Probably.
As soon as he ingested the treat, his throat and mouth started to burning and his lips were tingling. Soon after, he started to have bad stomach pains. What the fuck? Did they give him like cyanide or something? God damn. Not knowing what was ingested, the mother began panicking. The child, who had serious allergies. Yeah, I like how he's like, I'm allergic to everything. Like, eat this. Okay, fine. I'm allergic to everything, but I'll eat whatever you tell me. He had serious allergies. Thought he was about to undergo anaphylactic shock. He choked to death. As the night progressed, the boy began to throw up repeatedly, and the stomach pains became more and more severe. And eventually, the mother's teenage daughter alerted her that there was talk of teenage boys putting laxatives in lolly cakes. What is up with laxatives, dude? Apparently, they had been handing them out all night to unsuspecting children. If I was a younger guy and I was like, I'm going to give away lollipops to kids and it's make them shit their pants, on paper, pretty funny. In practice, horrible. Also, if your kid is like severely, let me just go off on.
Yeah, it's funny as a hypothetical, but fucking horrible to actually do. For you to be like, this is funny, and then actually go out and basically poison children is like an entirely different thing.
On this mom a little bit. If your kid is severely allergic to a bunch of different and he's like, I just ate something random. My stomach hurts. My lips are burning. Why would you just be like, well, we'll see what happens in let's give it a few hours. Why would you not rush him to the hospital? There's enough time for your teenage daughter to come home and be like, oh yeah, kids are putting like pharmaceuticals and lollipops. She's like, oh good, you're just going to poop for a while, sweetheart. Have a good night. And the kid's like, roll around. You know what? Let's give an award for worst mom so far of the year.
Have you ever drugged your friends?
No. Have you drugged your friends?
One friend.
Dude, having the stomach virus or throwing up when you were a kid was so ass. It's like there's an age where a kid is able to hold in their vomit, but before that, it's just you kind of feel like shit and you say nothing, and then you just, as you're telling your mom you feel like you're gonna throw up, you just yak. I don't feel so and just all over the fucking place. I don't know why I don't feel just fucking yaks. Now, like, I had the stomach virus literally, like, last year. I mean, you feel like shit, but I know when I'm going to throw up.
Why?
Well, it was a month prior to my birthday. He, like, put caramel in my ear when I was sleeping, and I got a huge infection. So, for my birthday, I had my brother put sleeping pills in his drinks all night. So that he could fall asleep.
That sounds illegal.
We could fuck with him. Well, he never fell asleep, but yeah, it was illegal.
You and your friend group sound miserable. Caramel in your ear? That sounds fucking awful as well.
Well, I was at the birthday party. The rule was whoever fell asleep, everyone gets to fuck with. But I had a tummy ache.
Don't say
Dude, I remember when I was in 3rd grade, I fell asleep early on the overnight school sleepover. I woke up. One of my friends was teabagging me, dude. I'll never forget that day.
tummy. I would have put caramel in your ear too, dude. My tummy hurts, but don't mess with me. I'd be like, I'm f***ing with that guy. In 2017, a mother from Florida discovered a prescription painkiller,
That
tramadol,
sounds brutal.
in her 3-year-old son's candy bag after attending a treat street event. God damn, once again, it's like, we're on the same street. You know what I mean? Which one of you put fucking tramadol in my son's Tootsie Roll wrapper? The Riverview Chamber of Commerce claims that after 29 years of running the event, this has never happened that we know of, right? They believe that it was merely an accident rather than a malicious or intentional act.
It's a painkiller. It's probably over the counter. Just
I'm sorry, he's gonna feel good for a while. They bring in some like weird gossiping shit, you know what I mean? We hear you yelling at your husband, Teresa, so he probably needs it.
Wow.
In 2023, a prescription drug, clonazepam pill, was found in their child's Halloween candy. Clonazepam is used to treat panic or anxiety attacks. It was found on a
But, like, why are they handing that out? Like, what would that do if if, like, a kid took that?
plastic bag decorated with candy corn. Quote, along with various pieces of mixed candy.
it's just loose candy.
It's just loose, unwrapped candy and a candy corn bag. Halloween is here. Once again, no culprit was found. But of course, why not? But the Sireville Police Department made a statement on Facebook warning people to examine their children's candy. If you're not
Dude, if you get candy in a Ziploc bag, why the fuck would you eat that?
not doing that already, what the fuck? You know what I mean? Come on. I don't think he ever did. I remember one time I think I took out like what was those hard candies that had the fucking strawberry wrapper?
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
Oh, those are the grandma candies, dude.
You know what I mean? Those hard candies. I unwrapped one of them. There was like long black hair wrapped around it. What my fat ass did? I just
Still ate it.
sick for 3 days afterwards. Oh, too much sugar. Not realizing I probably just ate like pubic hair or something like that. In the year 2000,
Stony Patch Kids? Yo, that'd be fucked up.
brand with bags of marijuana. On Halloween night, at least 9 Snicker bars were filled with marijuana and passed out to unknowing trick-or-treaters in Hercules. The police had a few leads to follow, but ultimately were not able to find the source. How is it possible that just no one is found? No one comes forward. Every time. The next one where if they don't find the next one, I'm rage quitting. In 2018, 2 parents were sent to the hospital after eating meth-laced Halloween candy. God damn.
Why were they eating the Halloween candy?
Like, now that's a fucking trick or treat right there. Holy shit. You just got tricked. You know what I mean? We gave you the candy. Why are you tricking us? You just got tricked. The Oregon Sheriff's Office made a statement about Halloween candy reportedly being altered in the Aloha community. While the family was trick-or-treating, they ate a packet of Sour Patch Kids and began to feel
Your parents didn't take your candy? Well, my parents were divorced, and No, my candy was my candy.
Sick. The leftover candies were taken in for an investigation and were tested positive for presence of methamphetamine. Fortunately, none of their children ingested any of the laced candy, which I think is unfair.
Yeah, that's just RNG, dude.
I think we got to go down as a family. If daddy and mommy eat a piece of meth Sour Patch Kids, then I think the children should as well. Only fair, right? Who bought you the costume?
Bro, Brooke's done that to me. Not with meth, but with like old sushi. She'll eat a piece and she'll be like, do you think I'm going to be okay? And I'm like, I don't know. Yeah, probably. She'll be like, eat one. Like, the fuck you mean eat one? She's like, eat one. No. She's like, well, then I'm going to not be okay. I'm like, well, that's not what it means. But what do you want to fucking take me? What, did the captain got to go down with the fucking ship? Why do I got to eat one too?
Daddy and mommy did. A police sheriff in 2022 shared his story of being forced to eat LSD-laced candy when he was a young child. On Halloween Day, a 6-year-old Andrew Brunson attended a trick-or-treat fair to play games and go on rides. While there, he encountered a bizarre adult that repeatedly insisted he eat a piece of candy he had in his hand. Like he was feeding a fucking horse, dude. It's just right there. Eat it. You're hungry, aren't you? He went so far as to open it up himself and put it in his mouth. Being a child, he ate the candy without giving it much thought. He's like,
I wonder how a kid would react on acid, dude. That would probably be horrible.
Brunson ended up in the hospital after his mother saw him unconscious on the ground.
Oh my God.
Today,
Your kid's just laying down in a bush.
the police sheriff urges parents to be aware of where their kids are on Halloween and to walk in the neighborhoods during the daytime. POV, someone's giving you candy and they're like, and then it's just black. And you wake up and you're like,
That's horrifying.
it's absolutely horrifying. That's so fucked up. It was Halloween, 1964, when 13-year-old Elsie Drucker and her 15-year-old sister Irene were almost killed from ingesting arsenic hidden inside of Halloween candy. While sorting through the Halloween
Dude, I did not know this many people drug fucking candy.
2 ant buttons were discovered. These are tools used to kill insects and pesticides, all that kind of shit, right? The community was alerted of this, leading to 19 more ant buttons to be discovered in other houses in the neighborhood. With the help of the 2 children, the police were able to trace the toxic treats to the home of a 47-year-old housewife named Helen Feel. Finally, we get justice of one of these motherfuckers, dude. Finally, we get a face. Especially a 47-year-old housewife named Helen Feel, but didn't have anything better
And what
to
did
do.
she just
We
want
got
to
too
kill
many ant
children?
buttons. I don't got any more ants. You take them.
She was charged with child endangerment and held the risk of facing prison time. As you probably should, dude. What the fuck? Yeah.
Wait, so I'm really gonna go to the big house for this one?
Yeah. According to Feel's husband, the whole thing was a joke. What a hoot and a holler. Helen, however, had a strange motive behind her actions. She told the courtroom that she, quote, didn't mean it maliciously and intentionally handed out the poisonous treats to people who should have already aged out of the activity.
Oh my God. So it was like if you were too old, she was like, I'm giving you arsenic.
Gave it to other people who had thought were too old trick-or-treating. What? As it turned out, Helen
You're wasting my money on candy.
handing out dog biscuits and steel wool as well. Hilariously enough, Helen's husband spent Halloween night trick-or-treating with her teenage sons, who were likely older than the people she divvied out the poison to. Field was forced to undergo 60 days in a psychiatric hospital as a result of her heinous actions. Throw her in the loony bin. Yeah, exactly. They were ant buttons! Helen pleaded guilty in the middle of her trial, but her case was ultimately suspended and was chalked up to a mere stupidity rather than genuine malice, which is so This is like 1960s justice. She's a crazy broad. Not again. All right, Helen. He's like, like all spazzed out and hair all. She's like, no problem, Your Honor. Judge Thomas M. Stark said, I don't understand why she had done such a stupid thing as this, but I feel incarceration is not the answer. What a man of the people. A political beacon of justice. But one of the most tragic instances of Halloween laced candy was that of Ronald O'Brien, dubbed the man who killed Halloween. It was a rainy Halloween night.
Damn, he actually killed his kid? What the fuck?
In 1974, Ronald O'Brien went out trick-or-treating with his children near his home in Deer Park suburb of Houston. They joined the Bates family as their 2 kids traveled as a group. Nice family out, nice Halloween night. right? The rain had poured so intensely that the night had to end early. Before bed, Timothy requested a treat, to which O'Brien recommended the pixie sticks, even going so far as to help pour the candy
Oh, I feel like I've heard
into
this.
his son's mouth. Within 90 minutes, Timothy was pronounced dead. His daughter Elizabeth had also chosen the pixie sticks, but she survived because she was unable to open the pixie sticks. As it turns out, both Timothy and Elizabeth's candy had been poisoned. According to investigators, O'Brien filled the top 2 inches of pixie sticks with granules of potassium cyanide. What a fucking monster. Especially to think that the guy was just like, all right, open up. Ooh, big Halloween night.
Yeah, never caving
check on
from
your
that.
sister.
Parents across Texas began to freak out over the possibility that their children would be poisoned as well. And in response, they threw away all Halloween candies that were collected. Hence
I
O'Brien's
mean, that makes sense, though.
nickname, the man who killed Halloween. Shockingly, there were more than just 2 laced pixie sticks. In fact, 5 other children were given the same candy from Ronald. Ronald was tasked with locating the other pixie
Oh, so he didn't only poison his own kids. He wanted to just kill people.
sticks, but there was no way to find the exact whereabouts of where those pixie sticks were at. The police turned their attention to O'Brien after finding out that he had taken out $30,000 in life insurance policies for both his children.
Wow.
It's so stupid.
And
It's
then murdered his own kids.
so suspicious. You know, just what's your highest you can go? 30,000.
Trying to make money.
Yeah, both of them. I was planning on keeping one of them, but with the amount, sure, fine. I'll settle with 30.
You know what's crazy? Nowadays, it costs about like $20,000 just to give birth to a child in the hospital. You're not even making that much money now.
It also costs $76,000 for a truck. Prices sure have skyrocketed, haven't they, Nick? Not only was he trying to profit off the deaths of his children, he was willing to involve other innocent kids in an attempt to make the crime appear random. In fact,
Wow.
his own insurance agent admitted that Ronald called him within hours of Timothy's death to begin processing the claim. How fucked up is that? Hey, man, you want to go ahead and run those numbers? They're gone. They're long gone. That's horrible. Yeah.
Yeah, that's sketchy in itself. You just immediately reaching out to the insurance company.
Run it. On June 3rd, O'Brien was sentenced to death via electric chair. He was executed on March 31st, 1984.
Wow,
maintained
he
his
got
innocence
fucking
all the way to the end,
executed.
stating, quote, "Because I have no guilt, I've really got nothing to worry about." What a man, Ronald. What a man. One of my favorite crazy Halloween incidents
Wow, and he never
when
felt
I was
bad
a kid, it
for
didn't have
it.
to do with necessarily drugs or anything, but there was one time I saw these kids go up to a house. They asked, trick or treat. The guy was like, "Leave me alone," because the whole indicator too is if somebody is doing trick or treating,
Yeah,
their
if their lights
are
are
on.
off.
So you go, if their lights are off, it means no one's home. His lights were on, and the kids were like, "Trick or treat," and he's like, "I'm not fucking doing it here." And they're like, "Well, why are your lights on?" He went over to his, there's a little garden bed next to him, and he gave like a handful of rocks and put it in their bags, and he's like, "There you go, now fuck off." And the kids immediately went, took the rocks out, and just like pelted the windows out of his car.
No
He came out,
fucking
"What the fuck?"
way.
He turned his light off after that, though. That was the one
I mean, those kids or the kids' parents would be, liable for fucking paying for that, though.
big one. I kept my rock.
You did?
Yeah, I got a rock from him. Halloween is supposed to be this joyous time for children, and me personally now, I loved trick-or-treating back then, but now it's just a time, it's an excuse to just get in the spirit of watching crazy-ass fun movies and having this kind of weird decor, feeling this loom.
Yeah, I feel like now it's more so, as you age out of trick-or-treating and, oh, we're going to get candy, it's more so just, the vibe of Halloween. Rewatching slasher films and fucking, dressing up at a costume party.
Kind of spooky vibe. And it's a shame nowadays that it's I look around, you don't see any of that kind of camaraderie with kids anymore, or even maybe one day me having another child, especially the one after the fire. I'd like to take my kid out trick-or-treating, experience the things that I used to experience when I was a kid. And it's a
Yeah, I wonder if that'll still exist. I think that's the point he's making. 30, 40 years from now, if people are still going to be trick-or-treating at all, I feel like it's just kind of dwindling. That was a W video.